Here is my first Impossible Project film review. As you can see, I'll be using the Impossible i1 camera and Color 600 film for this video. Where I live, there are basically power lines everywhere. I mean, no matter where you turn, no matter where you are, you will see freaking power lines. After a while, it's hard not to avoid them, but it's also hard to not use them in your photography. In this first photo, I really like the way the power lines sweep into the trees. I'm not too sure if that's safe or whatever, but something about that scene really appeals to me. I also like the way the film renders all the greens and blues in this photo. I don't know, it just seems like it feels right, even though it's a little dark and a little underexposed. I don't mind it. In contrast, this second photo appears to be overexposed, but I didn't use any flash, I didn't do anything fancy. I basically shot with no flash in broad daylight, and it turned out this way. Honestly, I don't really mind this washed out, overexposed look, and I actually really like the yellow greenish tint in the highlights. But this is basically another example of me taking a photo and realizing the shadow or just the power line element in the photo and finding it pretty interesting, because you don't see too many photos or photographs that have them in there. But anyways, I don't have much to say for this next photo. I basically was walking my dog, I looked up, I saw this power line, I found it pretty interesting, and I took a photo of it. In hindsight, I think I would have liked the main pole, like the main power pole to stick out of the right corner of the frame. But in a lot of ways, I like the off balance of this composition. It doesn't really bother me. And as I said before in the previous photo, I do like the color in the highlights and just the way the film renders the sky in general. The next two photos are from a walk I took recently. I came across this open field a few blocks away from my house that I had no idea existed. And when I actually took the photo, I was pretty surprised with the results, mainly because I shot directly into the sun and I had no idea what to expect. The same thing with the next one. I didn't really know what to expect because from what I could tell, it was pretty dark and there was only a little pocket of light that was hitting this small little shack in the back of someone's backyard. But I went ahead and took the photo anyways. And actually in this photo, I didn't use any flash or anything. I just took a regular photo, and it came out okay. I'm not too crazy about it, but I kind of like how there's just this tiny little shack in the middle of nowhere. I decided to use the last three photos on the film pack at an abandoned church right by my house. I really like the way the photos came out, and as you'll see in this first one, it's a little dark, but in a really nice way. The blue in the shadows and a little bit of the greenish, yellowish tint in the highlights is pretty nice. And I like the general mood and how the building kind of takes over the entire composition. Alright, I don't have much to say about this next photo. I'm not too happy with the way it turned out. It's funny, in my head I thought it would be so sweet, and then when it actually developed I thought, it's alright. I definitely want to come back to this spot, either with a film camera or a digital camera, and definitely at a different time of the day. This last photo I really like a lot, just because you have this nice beam of light going across the top of the building. And what's kind of odd is that when you're facing it head on, you can't see that beam of light until you actually go at an angle. And just to end it all, I like the way the power line sticks out of the top of the frame. That wasn't really intentional, but it happened, and I think it came out pretty nicely. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next week. Bye.